We're back with the beauty episode 7, and this episode shifts the focus in a way I didn't expect. Instead of chaos or speculate, we get something quieter, more emotional, and uncomfortable. And honestly, that's what made this episode work. Let's start with Meyer. Meyer is Cooper's boss, is introduced not just as a superior in the investigation, but as a father carrying unimaginable weight. His daughter Joy is suffering from a severe form of progeria, an extremely rare fatal genetic condition that causes rapid aging in children. Most cases don't make it past 14 or 15 years old due to heart disease. It caused by a mutation in the lemna gene, producing a toxic protein called progerin that breaks down the body at a cellular level. Growth failure, alopecia, stiff joints, and severe arthrosclerosis. It's cruel and it's terminal. We see Joey bedridden. The house feels heavy. The parents are exhausted, not just physically, but spiritually. And there's sorrow in the air, a kind of slow grief that never stops because the child is still alive, but fading away. And then Meyer decided something devastating. He tells his wife he wants to put a DNR in place. His wife explodes emotionally, understandably. When I tell you that she tried to break her husband down and said every possible word that you can think of that was very disgusting. And don't get me wrong, Meyer has said something and said that it was her fault as well as far as genetics, because when you are a parent, letting go feels like betrayal. But Meyer's position isn't heartless, it's helpless. He's not trying to give up on his daughter, he's trying to release her from suffering. And that's when Byron enters. Byron offers them the beauty serum. Not just that, he offers $10 million, influence, protection, and a complete reset of their reality. And here's the uncomfortable question the episode forces us to confront. If someone offered to save your child's life, even temporarily, in exchange for turning in a co-worker, would you do it? Would you protect your morals or would you protect your family? The show doesn't answer yet. It lets the tension sit there. And if I'm being honest, knowing what we know about the beauty and knowing the 1 year lifespan and knowing the explosion at the end, would I still consider the offer? Maybe, okay? And that's the point. The show exposes how morality bends under desperation. Now let's shift to Jeremy and the assassin, who we now know is named Antonio. Finally, we get pieces of his backstory. Antonio was military, he applied for Secret Service and was denied. He wanted fast money, a shortcut to power and respect. Instead, he ended up working security for billionaires until someone in the crowd threw acid on his face and body. The moment shattered him physically and psychologically, and Brian appeared like a dark angel, offering him salvation. The beauty didn't just give Antonio a new face, it gave him identity, purpose, control, but underneath that transformation is still the wound of rejection and loss. Now, what makes this dynamic between Antonio and Jeremy compelling is they share their emotional void. Antonio misses his son, Jeremy misses his father. Neither can fix the absence and neither can go back. The beauty doesn't give them back their loved ones, it gives them power to cope with the loss. And that's the tragic irony. The serum doesn't heal grief, it masks it. I genuinely thought Brian was going to betray the Meyer's family. I expected manipulation, I expected cruelty, but instead we see something surprising. Brian has a weak spot when it comes to broken families. It doesn't make him good, it makes him complicated because he understands the loss, he understands what it means to want a reset, he understands desperation, but that doesn't make him trustworthy. And here's where things get interesting. Brian still doesn't know about Germany, the secret is a ticking bomb. Now, what I want to say quick about Brian is, what if Brian sat there and kind of fool the Meyer's family? Now, what if that beauty serum didn't work on Joey at all and she passed away and what he did was swap a kid? Now, that would be some fucked up shit. Now, if Brian finds out Germany has been brought into the fold without his control, that changes the power structure entirely. And if Brian feels threatened, he won't hesitate to reset dominance, probably by unleashing the assassin again. And as for Jordan, I don't think she's going to make it. Her arc feels fragile. fragile and the beauty doesn't allow loose ends to survive for long. Now, what I say about Jordan and Cooper is that I like their little conversation when they both admit that they love each other. And plus, it was very obvious since since episode 1, and Cooper always had that love and feelings for Jordan. He just didn't want to tell her, not just yet, and was waiting for Jordan. So that's why there was all smiles when they got caught and it was in the back of that truck. So episode 7 works because it shifts from speculate to more dilemma. It asks, what is the price of mercy? What is the cost of saving someone you love? And how far would you go before you stop recognizing yourself? This wasn't the loudest episode. It wasn't the brutal. It wasn't even that graphic when it came to the first 3 episodes of that body horror. So it shows that emotional layer of all the characters and what they've been through and what they've been up to, especially a lot of backstory, which I kind of prefer in this episode. But hopefully we get back to that body horror really soon, because that's what made this show very interesting. Let me know your thoughts. Would you take Brian's offer or would you turn him in? Thank you so much for watching my channel. Make sure you like and subscribe. And until then, see you later.